All right, and now back to our top story. President-elect Trump disagreeing with U.S. intelligence agencies that believe Russia interfered in the presidential election by hacking DNC emails. The disagreement is causing a war of words between the Obama administration and the incoming Trump administration. Let's bring in our panel. Mark Lampkin served as an advisor to former House Speaker John Boehner. Brad Bauman is former executive director of the Congressional Progressive Caucus. Gentlemen, great to be with you. Thanks so much.
Thank you for having us.
Brad, it's kind of unusual. Typically, it's the Republicans yelling about Russia and the Democrats going, oh, no, we think we can make things work. And now we have exactly the opposite.
I got to tell you, there's nothing about this that is... I mean, the entire situation is completely ridiculous. At this point, the only thing that Republicans seem to be doing that resembles the way that they stood up for America in the Cold War is their response to Democrats as though we are the Cold War enemy. Deny everything, level counter accusations. What Russia may have done here in terms of their interference in our election could be the most significant attack on our democracy since 9/11. And instead of all of us attacking one another, we need to actually come together, figure out what's happening, and it would be really nice for our president-elect to take this seriously.
Mark, is the president-elect not taking this seriously, or, as Sean Spicer pointed out this morning, is there a nuance here? There's a nuance of if someone did indeed hack, let's figure out who it is, but at the same time, let's not say that the hack changed the results of the election.
I mean, you're absolutely right. What we've got here is the, while Donald Trump's on a victory tour, Clinton and her allies are on the weepy, soppy, where we lost tour. What this is, and Sean's right in terms of proportionality. Senator McConnell and others in leadership have said, we're going to look at this. But what they were trying to obscure is the fact that Hillary Clinton lost. And we went through the Comey period. We went through the WikiLeaks period. What the Russian...
Multiple stages of grief.
Absolutely.
So,
what I was going to say, it's just ironic that they continue to focus on the symptom and not the disease.
But
the disease is Hillary Clinton.
Take a listen to what President Obama, though, said yesterday about Republicans as it relates, and from that, or the president-elect as it relates to Russia, and then we'll get your reaction.
Yeah.
Now, this is just one poll, but a pretty credible source. 37% of Republican voters approve of Putin. Over a third of Republican voters approve of Vladimir Putin, the former head of the KGB. Ronald Reagan would roll over in his grave.
Well, I think it's ironic that the president that just, in a celebratory way, reestablished diplomatic relations with the Cuban regime is pointing the finger at Republicans for engaging with Vladimir Putin. I mean, again, you don't be distracted by the shiny object. This is the, we just...
Well, I'm getting a wrap, so Brad, I got to give you the last 20 seconds or so.
Sure. Number one, this isn't about timing. A lot of Democrats were talking about Russian attacks on our information and trying to manipulate our election well before this election came to a close. So let's not make this about us being on a sour grapes tour. This is a significant threat to our national security, and we need to get to the bottom of it.
I'm guessing you agree with that, Mark.
Well, of course, and I think Republicans have embraced that idea.
Well, hold on, but we've heard Republicans in Congress certainly embrace that idea. Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, John McCain embrace that idea. We haven't heard the president-elect be forceful or powerful or even outraged in any way about this.
But again, that's...
In fact, he doesn't even say that he believes it's the Republicans.
That's right.
Or the Russians.
But I think we have to get to the facts. And I think the best place to actually, in a public forum, have a discussion about whether or not the Russians did something or didn't is through congressional investigation, working with the intelligence agencies to actually come to a conclusion.
But
and what we've got is...
Why is this happening? That conceivably the president-elect and the president are entitled to the same intelligence briefings. The president, the entire national security apparatus, essentially the FBI now getting in line with the CIA, and private cybersecurity firms all point to the Russians, and President-elect Trump, who's entitled to the same thing, says, I don't know.
I want to just say that, and I don't want to minimize this, but this is like something out of the Manchurian Candidate. You have one person who is taking over the free world who can't even admit to the fact that Russia, who, let's face it, over the last decade and a half, we've seen them continuously poke at us and try to attack us and figure out our pressure points. He can't even come to the point where he acknowledges the fact that they may have manipulated us.
You got 10 seconds, then I got to go.
I was going to say, again, it's about proportionality and reasonableness. He's not overreacting. What this is, the sour grapes is really about the continued Democrat effort to obscure from the fact that Donald Trump won, and he is going to be the next president of the United States.
Got to go. All right. Mark, Brad, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Well, you are right on one part of that, for sure.